Another day, another NXT special, another fantastic one at that. I'm John Tuddy here for JT Pro Wrestling, and this is your NXT Takeover Philadelphia review. The show literally just ended, so I'm here to give you my thoughts on NXT Takeover Philadelphia. My initial thought is, I thought this was a pretty goddamn good show, but we'll get to the more particulars a little bit later. Let's get things started here with the opening matchup between the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Conor O'Reilly, versus the Authors of Pain. I thought this match was absolutely spectacular. There's the main reasons why. I didn't think the Authors of Pain could actually be the selling baby faces, which they were for most of this match. Selling the leg injury, I believe it wasn't Razor. It was the other guy. Let me just look up his name here for a second. Just for a second here. As I look up here. So basically he went off for a stomp. And he kind of hurt his knee. Akem's the one who injured his knee. The Undisputed Era basically targeted the knee for most of the match. It was great. I thought Akem was a really good babyface in peril, leading up to the big hot tag to Razor. Razor comes in like a house of fire, hitting some quick big boots onto both members of the Undisputed Era. And they were absolutely running roughshod over everybody. And then we get to the finish. And this finish was pretty good. Akem, who was being a great fiery babyface in the corner, beating up on O'Reilly, kicking Fish in the head, and they're setting up for the collision powerbomb, as I call it. I don't know what it's exactly called because I'm not an NXT guy. But as they were doing that, Akem went back because he couldn't finish off the powerbomb. O'Reilly hits a Hurricane Rana, knocks out Razor. He knocks Akem into Razor. Razor goes out of the ring. Undisputed rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. And Undisputed retained the titles. I thought this match was absolutely spectacular. Great way to open up the show. I gave it 3 stars. It was pretty goddamn good. Second match of the night was Cassius Ohno versus the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream coming off the big match he had with Aleister Black last NXT special in War Games. And I thought this match was kind of subpar. It kind of really underdelivered, in my opinion. I thought it was absolutely sloppy, and it's not on Velveteen. It's more on Ono than anything else. He couldn't get up. He kept fucking up spots. He wasn't ready. He didn't go up for Velveteen most of the time. And I didn't think Velveteen's elbow drop was really that good. I understand the Velveteen character as a guy who's not a really big fan of it, is that he's a flamboyant, arrogant kind of guy, and it really does show in the match here. I do see the talent in him. I'm not a big fan of the character myself. As for Ono, you gotta lose some weight, buddy. I'm sorry, but he's either gonna lose some weight, because it really showed in this match how he couldn't get up for the Death Valley Driver twice. Twice that happened. I'll give it a 1.5 stars, and that's being nice. Our third matchup was Ember Moon defending her NXT Championship against what's her name? Oh, this is fun. Isn't this fun, huh? Basically the bully. The MMA girl. And as a guy, again, I've not watched that much NXT. And covering this whole thing, the video package really needs to show me why I should care about this match. And it's a very simple kind of matchup here. It's the big bully who is, let's see here, Sasha Blazer, and going up against the bright upstart champion in Ember Moon. And I thought this match was really good. I thought this was one of the better women's matches they've had on NXT. I really liked the finish. I'll get to that in a second. Let me just go here. I thought Ember Moon came out with like a house of fire. I thought that Blazer's offense looked pretty good. She injures Ember's Moon's arm in the match. Moon still somehow gets off the Eclipse, but hurts the arm again. Which obviously wasted a little bit more time for, it saves the finish of the Eclipse. At the same time, it doesn't pin, she didn't get the pin off it. And then we get to about a 2-minute armbar, and I thought the counters of this were good, the rollovers are good. We'll get to more of those a little bit later in the main event, but I thought she's trying to get out of it, and Blazer just keeps having the arm and the arm bar. And it's just hurting, and then eventually she rolls her up for the win, and it's like a surprise win. They want to keep the title on Ember Moon, but at the same time, they don't want to make Blazer looked like kind of losing in her first really big NXT match. So this is a nice way to get around that. The post-match beatdown, Blazer put Ember Moon in a chokehold twice, knocked her out, so it keeps her strong and maybe moving on to maybe a last woman standing match. Maybe, I don't know, the next NXT special, probably that would be the route I would go. Then we get to a really, really fun match. Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Extreme Rules. This match had a lot of hype going into it. I said in the preview, this has a potential to steal a show, and it almost did if it wasn't for the main event. This match was fun carnage with two really, really, really talented guys. Highlights of the match include the super kick from Adam Cole onto Aleister Black, hit him with the head of the steel chair, and he's fall through two tables. Let's see here. I guess it was the electric chair through the ladder. The Undisputed Era coming out for Adam Cole and kind of knocking out Black. But then Sanity comes back. They return. They beat up the Undisputed Era. Killian Dane with a nice suicide dive, taking out 4 men. Adam Cole taking a flatbed bump onto the top of the steel chair, which I've never actually seen done before, which is a complaint I always have in hardcore matches, that I've seen most of the spots before. This one actually gave me a spot I'd never seen before, and that's definitely one of them. As for the finish, Cole is screaming, "I'm going to hit you with this. I'm going to hit you with this," as he's holding up a steel chair. Then Aleister Black hits him with the Black Mass, which still looks sweet, and Aleister Black gets the win. I believe they're building him up for the, especially at the result of the main event, they're building up him to be in the main event picture for the NXT Championship. And then we get to the main event time. It's Johnny Gargano versus the Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. Now, I want to point this out here. I'm not a big fan of Andrade Cien Almas. I think he's kind of a bland, boring character. I would have told you that before this match started, but after the match, I got tipped my cap to the guy. This match was absolutely 100% spectacular. And that's mainly because Johnny Gargano is a fantastic babyface. Andrade Cien Almas is a great heel, and definitely with Rosita in his corner, I don't care what her name is in WWE, she's always going to be Rosita to me, definitely helps her going around. So, highlights of this match include, I'm just going to talk about my favorite segments of the match. So, there's one sequence where Gargano goes for the diving spear, and Andrade caught him, hit him with a knee and a face buster. And then he hit the inverted tornado DDT for a 2 count. That was pretty cool. The diving spear obviously looks good for the Gargano. I actually liked how this match started out with a lot of counters to holds. They couldn't really get a good feel on each other because these guys have faced each other twice. This is the third time they're facing each other. And, the old trick of, what can I do differently to get this whole thing started? Johnny Gargano taking a flat back bump right onto the mats of the floor that had to suck. Which gave Andrade the edge. I liked how this match was structured, actually. In the beginning, it was more, as I said, the counters, and then kind of in the middle, it was Andrade would beat him and beat him and beat him. And then Gargano would try to get a little bit of offense in, but every single time, Andrade had an answer to it. Every single time, he would have an answer to it. And, it's like the Ricky Steamboat kind of thought of, you don't want to get, 5... you want to get at least one move in every 5. This was textbook, really good match. Crowd was into it. It was a lot of fun. Gargano gets in the Gargano lock, which Andre eventually gets out of. Rosita hits a Isagiri onto Johnny Gargano, which leads to the hammerlock DDT. Gargano gets out of 2. The running double knees 3 times into the turnbuckle. 1 in the post, a double foot stomp onto Andrade Cien Almas, hit on Johnny Gargano right on the staging area, a diving over DDT from Gargano to Almas onto the apron. Candice getting involved, Johnny Gargano's wife, who was in the crowd tonight, beating up on Rosita, getting her out of the match, and then Andrade Cien Almas hits the double knees on Gargano, whose head hits the back of the post, and you can clearly tell that he's out. And then he hits the draping hammerlock DDT. 1, 2, 3. Almas retains, and Gargano loses again. Now, I've seen the reaction to this, and a lot of people are not really a fan of this. They were hoping for Johnny to win the match. Quite frankly, I don't. I actually agree with this because I think they want to have two really big matches in when we get to NXT Takeover New Orleans, and I'll get to the post-match angle here. But obviously, they're building up Black for the match against. My guess is they're going to have three big matches. It's going to be Black versus Andrade Cien for the NXT Championship, where probably Black will win the title, is my guess. You'll have the Undisputed Era versus Sanity, probably in some sort of hardcore style rules match. And then you'll get, as a result of this past post-match angle, with the return of Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano one-on-one. And that match is going to be awesome. Okay, I'm excited to see it at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. You have three really big caliber matches. This was a coming out party for Andrade Cien, so I got tipped my cap to the guy. I gave this match 4.5. I gave the street fight 4, and I gave the women's match 3.25. So my overall thoughts on the show, this was overall a thumbs up show. I thought mostly everything delivered. The main event was awesome. The co-main event, the street fight, was awesome. The Velveteen Dream and Cassius Ohno could have been better. I think it's not on Velveteen, it's definitely on Cassius Ohno himself. So join me here on Monday. I won't be able to do the Royal Rumble review on tomorrow night, but I will be able to do it on Monday. So join me here so I can talk about it. And I will see you next time here on JT Pro Wrestling. Please, I almost forgot the plugs here. Subscribe to this channel. Press the bell to get your notifications. Also, subscribe to the Football Reporters 230. We'll be releasing a video every day next week of different Super Bowl themes starting tomorrow. Also, subscribe to Wrestling Fortune 44 for the Aftershock Corner, my former show. Also, subscribe to J. Hebert Side 95, Wayne Matthews Wrestling. My friend James, he's no longer doing podcasts anymore, and that's cool. That's cool. He has his choice what he wants to do. But tune over there if you want to see some really cool Titantrons and other musical stuff, and tune over to WYW to see, well, his child. See what he's more proud in showing us. So that's gonna do it for here for JT Pro Wrestling. I'm signing off. If you haven't watched the special, watch it. See you guys next time.